associating with development of the world with a lot of achievements in construction, transportation, technology. People must also pay the heavy price for our overexploitation of natural resources within centuries. The consumption without reproduction has led to the imbalance in the biodiversity, which causes a lot of damages in the long-term futures. It not only brings the species on the brink of extinction but also negatively impacts on human life. Overpopulation makes more poverty, food shortage. Worse for natural resources, pollution affects life quality and reduces habitat. It's time to stop destroying our planet and take advantage of technology development to build the sustainability. Most crucially, the government must take leadership in this progress to lead the people to a better world. Building eco-cities is the aim of every nation. However, that goal cannot be completed with only ethical awareness or single actions from individual businesses. The greatest effort must come from the support and encouragement of the government to lead the whole society into the green lifestyle. In Asia, there are two emerging countries are leading this trend, Singapore and China. As a responsible member of global community, Singapore has pledged to reduce our greenhouse gas emission by 60% below the business as usual level in 2020. The pledge announced in 2010 ahead of the UNFCCC Climate Change Conference in Copenhagen was conditional on a legally binding global agreement. We also ratified the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change in 1997 and acceded to the Kyoto Protocol in 2006. Aside from the power generation, we are also working to become energy efficient. Energy efficiency means achieving more while consuming less. The efficiency program appears to drive energy efficiency across many different type of activities. For example, the use of public transport is encouraged, allows Singaporeans to get from place to place while using relatively less energy. Mass rapid transit or MRT were idealized to reduce the traffic congestion in 1980s. 20 years later, MRT network has grown to nearly 150 kilometers of rapid transit lines around the city-state, forming the backbone of Singapore public transportation. Stringent measures have been put in place to ensure that Singapore maintains a good air quality from the planning stage, such as locating pollutive industries away from the residential areas down to mandating and enforcing the strict emission standards. We have been careful to calibrate our air pollution control measures to strike fast balance between supporting economic development and ensuring the high quality of life. These measures have served Singapore well over the past 4 decades, as can be seen our good ambient air quality record. To attain these air quality targets by 2020, abatement measures are being implemented to reduce emissions from vehicles and industries. In another country, China, we also see the rate shift within a decade from only economic development strategy to sustainable development strategy. First, cutting the backward and excess capacity through the hotline measures. China will establish a mechanism to retire heavily polluting capacity as well as to cut excess capacity and shut down in accordance with law those enterprises that have been continuously discharging excessive pollutant, unable and unwilling to address pollutions, and remaining high in pollution despite the sound treatment. There will be continued effort to revise and revise the comprehensive directory of environmental protection and phase out those production technology, equipment, and products that generate heavy pollution or impose high environmental risks. Localities are encouraged to develop policies that cover more sectors and impose more stringent standards in phasing out backward production capacity. Upgrading and transforming enterprises with a stringent energy consumption requirements, while the total energy consumption and the consumption intensity will be controlled to conserve the energy. Strict evaluation and examination on energy conservation will be conducted on the newly launched projects, and the performance of manufacturing industry will be supervised and regulated throughout the entire life cycle. Furthermore, Chinese government also implemented policy to drive growth through green technology innovation. Green development increasingly driven by innovation, with green development increasingly underpinning China's national innovation strategy and economic transformation. It's crucial to thoroughly incorporate green development into developing up-to-date technology in various sectors. Improving environmental standards and policy systems in technology, China will study and develop environmental baseline, revise choice environmental quality standard, improve VOC emission standard, and strictly implement the pollutant discharge standard. It can be seen that excessive consumption of electricity brings damages to environment. To be more specific, overusing can cause greenhouse gases, pollution, acid rain, climate change, and wasteful spending. As a result, there are some solutions are used to improve and change environment in a positive way, such as solar power, reduction in consumption, and forces in combat. One of the effective solutions is solar power. People want to reduce the amount of energy that they require during their operation. However, reducing the amount of energy is hard for big businesses. Therefore, people replace electricity by solar power. In India, Cochin International Airport Limited announced that the airport will run completely on solar power, making the first airport in the world to do so. Transportation has negative impacts on the environment in a wide range of spheres. In terms of direct impact, transportation causes noise, air pollution, carbon monoxide emissions, and regarding to indirect impact, respiratory and cardiovascular problems. The solution can be listed in the following. People use public transportation as the main vehicles, biofuels, and electric cars. More notably at home, it can be observed that electric cars is highly applied, especially in China. To be more specific, we get insight into China's case. China's big cities and famously pollute and air pollution responsible for as many as 1 million assessed deaths per year, according to estimates from the World Health Organization. Compared in 10 years, China can improve its environment. Coming to the solution, Chinese automakers turned out 680,000 all-electric cars per truck in 2017, more than the rest of the world combined. In addition, China produced more than 200,000 all-electric commercial vehicles. Recycling has just been noticed in recent years, and it is also the 3R. Recycling is always a challenging problem for the society, and recycling has never been considered as the industry. However, Sweden has improved and placed recycling as industry in an important position. First of all, it can be noted that the Swedish people are quite keen on being out in the nature, and they are aware of what we need to do on nature and environmental issues. We work on communication for a long time to make people aware not to throw things outdoors, so that we can recycle and reuse, says the Anna Karin Report, Director of Communication for Avfallsverket, the Swedish Waste Management Recycling Association. Furthermore, the Sweden has implemented the cohesive national recycling policy. According to the Sweden recycling trends, they use garbages to burn for heating in the winter instead of using coal and eliminating the great amount of carbon dioxide. Additionally, Sweden has imported rubbish from other countries to keep its recycling plants going. They also have technologies in gathering rubbish. For example, they use the vacuum pump to reduce the demand of garbage cars, garbage bins, mitigate the smell of garbages. Therefore, on the whole, people develop the system in dealing with the garbages from collecting trash to burning those for heat in the winter. Protecting environment has always been the big issue, not only for one society, one nation, but in global scale. Natural depletion, pollution, degrade of habitat lead to a lot of potential and great damages to human beings. The start of energy era as well as the revolution of the fourth industrial technology will significantly help people less dependent on natural resources, building eco-cities, develop more but consuming less. Besides, the process must have the support and policy from government to push up the progress. This trend may start from a single nation, Singapore, China, and then the whole Asia Pacific. Europe, America, and everyone on earth will follow the green lifestyle. Give their hands to make the world a better place to live.